Sure. So I'll start with my introduction. My name is Arun Sundar. I've lived in Singapore for the last 15 years. I have been in the IT line, basically working for a private MNC bank in Singapore as head of IT audit. I'm a computer engineer and I've done my MBA as well. And it's only very recently, in the last 6 to 12 months, that I've started exploring my spiritual side, where I've been taking lessons on Akashic reading, tarot cards, Reiki, and all these. And in one such process, I came across this new technique called QHHT. Just out of curiosity, I just joined to find out what it was. So I met one of these sales guys in one of these sales presentations that I was at, and what he told me was describe one of your favorite desserts, and tell me how it feels. So I just said, okay, vanilla ice cream. So then I started to describe how it feels. I told him, yeah, it is white in color, and then it feels cold, but then you are not able to bring the real taste of vanilla ice cream into someone else's head, right? So very similarly, I'm just going to share like probably how it feels to experience or what it is that you might get from these QHST sessions. But unless and until you experience this on your own, it's very difficult for someone to convey what you might get and what you might even see in these sessions. So my very first session I had with Sailaja ji, and that was a great experience. I got answers to a lot of questions that I didn't even expect I would get. In fact, I got about 5 or 6 different past life sessions in the first session with her itself. So basically, my problem is I had no experience in QHHT at all. I didn't know what it was. Of course, Jitendra shared a lot of videos. I had gone through all the meditation sessions, sincerely did meditation for about 100 plus days till I was able to get to the first session. And even after that, my mind is basically, coming from an engineering background, I have a lot of analytical mind, which basically makes me think, why am I going through these questions? What is going to happen next? What will happen? Will I even have my consciousness? Am I going to get into a state of trance? Will I be able to come out of it? A lot of these questions in my head. So I always had this hesitation if I'll be able to go too deep. Even if I went too deep, will I be able to come out of it? I always want to be in control of anything that I'm doing. So this was the first limitation. And then Jitenji said, don't worry about all this. We will go through the session. You see what comes. We will not go with any thing or any expectation into the session. So, which is what I had. He said, prepare some questions. Maybe we can ask. If you get to a state, we can ask those questions. So I had prepared 2 questions, and the third one, I didn't even tell him that this is what my question is. I told him these are my 2 questions, and then I didn't tell him that I had a third question in mind. So he started the session, and I was thinking something else. I was like, my mind was wandering. Didn't really know what to focus on. And then suddenly he asked me a question, and then I was completely transformed into a different location, different experience. And then the answer to my first question actually came out as a past life, which I was able to experience it. Of course, it was probably the initial stages. So my first question was, why doesn't money come to me very easily, and why do I have to get it the hard way? Like I have to do a job, I have to depend on my not depend as such, I would say, but why is it only the salary? Why are my investments not multiplying? For some people, it's just luck, right? Anything they touch turns into gold. So any investment they make in some small piece of land would give them like fold returns. Why is something like that not happening? The answer I got, uh, it was in the form of messages, and it said the divine basically said you will get enough money when you need it, money is not everything. And when there is too much money and you don't have anyone to spend it on, the money is useless. And the past life just flashed. So what happened was I was in a place covered with snow, and I kind of found a treasure which I was looking for. I managed to drag the treasure to a faraway distance. I was sitting on top of the mountain, and then I look back at it and I think, and basically this entire message from divine saying, see, you have all the money that you wanted, but you don't have anyone to share this with. So what are you going to do with it? I didn't have an answer. So the the message for me to understand there was, even though you have money, more than what you want, but if you don't have anyone to share it with, it's absolutely useless. My second question led me to another past life. So it took us about 7, 8 years into our marriage by the time we got our first child. So that was my second question, and I asked why it took so long. So then again, I was transformed to another place where I saw myself as a farmer, probably in a European village. I was wearing this hat. I was this FT farmer, and I was probably very poor, and I could see myself like working really hard, having just enough money to survive that kind of a life. And when I go back to my house, which was a hut in between a village, I can see my family is there. There were about 10 children in the house, and my wife was there trying to, there was just one loaf of bread and she was feeding all these
Amma,
kids.
Amma, these flowers look.
Perfect. So I was just feeding all these kids, and out of frustration, sometimes we say these words like, "Why is this happening to me? Why do I have to live a life like this?" So I probably, even without realizing, thought, "Why am I having so many kids? Had it been just my wife and I, life would have been so much easier. We would have had some more share of bread to eat, probably, not having to just live on one slice of bread where we're sharing a loaf with so many kids." That was a thought in my mind, and the divine message just coming through saying, this is what you asked for, and that's what you're having in this life, right? So the lesson to learn over there was, even out of frustration, the slightest thought of having things exactly opposite to the way we are having now, we think we are in a difficult situation now, but things could be worse. So maybe you are manifesting these things which will you know which will lead to another life where you are exactly getting what you wished for. So even if you wish for something, think 10 times, do I really need this in my next life, or am I even wishing for the right thing in my next life? Right, this was the second one, and this is a third question which I asked. I didn't ask Jitendra. I didn't even share with him before my first session, is how do I advance spiritually? How do I get better at visualizing? Because what happened was, in these sessions, I was not very sure if I was getting the right messages, or was I imagining these things? Is it really, like divine guiding me? Am I getting the divine messages, or am I imagining things? Then the answer to that came right away, saying, all you need to do is close your eyes, sit down in front of wherever your puja place is, light a lamp, sit down on your knees with folded hands in front of the lamp, and just uh, close your eyes and sit in front of it for like a minute and pray. Pray that you should get visuals, and you should get all the imaginations, and uh, the way you'd like to see your in your meditations or in these sessions. I did that for 21 days after the session. And now, anytime I sit for meditation or whatever, I can really see those scenes happening in front of my eyes. And the divine guidance there has really worked for me. So this was just one session that I experienced in QHHT, and it was really good. A lot of learnings. Uh, didn't expect this to happen at all. So, in summary, if, what happened to me, or what I would like to share with you over here is everyone's experience is different. So don't expect the same things to happen with you. Do not compare, because Jitendra shares a lot of videos. Everyone's getting fantastic sessions and they're having great experiences. Don't compare and expect that I will also get something similar, or I might not get anything at all. Don't have any expectations. Just go and experience it, just like you're tasting vanilla ice cream for the first time, right? Just go and see how it feels. And maybe you may think that, okay, this is just my thoughts. But once you come out of the session, you will, when you narrate what happened in the session with someone, maybe with your family or friends, you'll be able to see that you're able to add a lot more details. You'll be able to experience this. You'd feel as if you've traveled like thousands of miles. Your body will feel so heavy. And it's not just the experience as well, it's the healing, or it's the transformation that happens after the session that makes the difference for you. So it's a great experience. Welcome you all into this journey. Thanks to Jitenji and Dr. Vijay as well, who actually introduced me to this. And my father, Mani Sundar, who is also here in the session, he was the one who asked me to try this, because I don't believe in a lot of these spiritual things. I don't get into anything spiritual at all. He asked me to try this, but I'm having a great experience. So thanks to all those who are involved in this journey, and all the best to you guys as well who are getting started. Thanks, Ji.